¿Ves?
Ahora sí, ahora sí. Ok, estaba gracias a todos por haber venido. No, soy la más chiquita de toda mi familia. Estos todos son mis nietos, mis nietas y mis hijas de Luis y Sylvia. Todos somos familia de los mejores amigos que tenemos, los estudiantes de Luis, los compañeros de trabajo. Todos los que están aquí, gracias por venir. Me da mucha alegría. No puedo llorar. No debo llorar, pero estoy contándome. Pero sí, Luis estará mirándonos a todos desde allá, riéndose de oreja a oreja. Es decir, la verdad, ustedes saben cómo él era. Y una cosa así, un homenaje muy bonito, que yo les agradezco del alma. Porque yo no sé si, ¿cuántos aquí fueron estudiantes de Luis? Levanten la mano. Los estudiantes de Luis aquí, ¿cuántos son? Los que hay aquí.
Gloria.
Hay muchos más, pero lo que pasa es que como hubo graduaciones y esas cosas, mucha gente no pudo venir hoy. Yo me siento mucho que no estén aquí, porque yo les quería decir a esos estudiantes que por la forma con que ellos querían, de la manera que ellos querían a ese maestro que tuvieron aquí, fue porque él, Luis, llegó aquí a los 17 años sin haber terminado la escuela superior, y yo no sé cuántos de ustedes sabían eso. Y él era pobre, como muchos de los que vienen, que no saben inglés, que vienen aquí a estudiar, que tratan de mejorar sus vidas, y él los animó a que siguieran en la escuela, que siguieran estudiando, que siguieran profesionales, que tuvieran un trabajo cuando pudieran salir de la high school, de la escuela superior. Por eso tuvieron ustedes tanta empatía con él, porque él fue eso, él vivió aquí bien pobre, trabajó en fundaciones, trabajó en la UAI limpiando oficinas, trabajó de mesero, trabajó de cualquier cosa pudo para poder pagar sus propios estudios. Así que por eso, yo digo, ahí es donde está, por eso es que pudo tener un impacto como lo tuvo, que él ni lo sabía, no lo sabíamos. El propósito era, aquí está Tony Báez, estábamos hablando de eso ahorita, el propósito era ayudar a los estudiantes a mejorarse, a que aprendieran inglés, a que aprendieran una profesión y que se mejoraran, porque él quería que hicieran lo mismo que él hizo. Él era el ejemplo, eso que tuvieron. Por eso quería decirles a los estudiantes, pero si ustedes tienen sus hijos por ahí que no pudieron venir hoy, díganse, que sepan que él era uno de ustedes, siempre lo fue, y se mantuvo así toda la vida. Yo los quiero mucho con todos ustedes, porque yo trabajé con esto y muchos aquí también ayudaron. Hay muchos colegas aquí que estoy viendo ahora mismo que ayudaron a que eso se hiciera. El programa bilingüe se hizo por eso. Así que gracias, los quiero mucho. Muchas bendiciones para todos.
it, so I can't do it in Chino. But welcome. I'm Dr. Terhan, the principal here at South Division High School. Very excited to be able to host, this celebration. I know for a lot of us, right, that went through the bilingual program, having been a student in the program, and I know there's a number of us that have gone through the program, like Ibeliz and just a whole lot of other people, alumni back there. We've all been through this program, and it means so much to us, right? So having the people who have really paved the way for us here is phenomenal, right? So I want to thank everyone who is retired and came back to this. We're very thankful because we would not be here if it wasn't for you. So let's give you guys a big round. So having said all that, we're going to have a short program. So we obviously just had food and mariachi. I'm going to do a very quick welcome. I'm going to recognize a few dignitaries, both current and former. I was talking to Ibeliz and she was like, oh my God, a lot of retired people here. I'm a little jealous. So we'll recognize dignitaries. We have a president that is going to be making some remarks, and then Gloria is going to make some remarks. We're going to introduce the family. We do have a citation that is going to be presented, or is going to be presented for the family, and then we'll dismiss. We'll have an opportunity for people to come up and talk a little bit about Luis, and then say some words about his life, and talk about the impact that he's had on everybody's lives. And then we'll dismiss. So first off, I do want to recognize a few dignitaries that are with us. Like I said, I'm going to try to do both current and former, and I hope I don't miss anybody. And if I miss anybody, please, you can yell at me in the back. It's okay. So we have Mimi Reza, who is our current school board member for this area. And then we have Dr. Tony Baez, who is a former representative for this area, school board representative. And one thing about Tony and just a whole lot of people in this room, there's been a lot of support that has been provided for South Division over the years. So I'm very thankful for everyone who is here, who has provided so much support. It means a lot to us as a school. And I'll go a little bit into that in just a little bit. And then we have Mr. Galuban, so we want to wave, who has served as all kinds of roles, including interim superintendent last year. So just really appreciate all the support. And then we have Dr. Brugman, who is our academic superintendent. And Alondra, who is the WIABE president. We have a few board members from WIABE, Ibeliz Perez. We have Rafael, who is with us. And also want to thank WIABE, because WIABE ended up supporting a whole lot with this celebration, and ended up, I went to the board and asked for some money. I'm not afraid of asking for money. So went to the board and asked for some money, and it was not even there was no hesitation. The board unanimously said absolutely. There's no reason for us not to approve it. So thank you guys. Sometimes in boards you have long discussions. There is no discussion. Let's make it happen. So very thankful to the WIABE board. I know we have Dr. Mateo, who's also a former intern superintendent here. Former deputy superintendent. And Lourdes Castillo, who's also been very supportive of South. Where's Lourdes? Thank you. And one of the things that I want to just briefly say, so when our administrative team came into South Division about 7 years ago, South Division, and we've had, don't tell anybody, tell a lot of people, we've been lucky enough to have the same team, which has been very helpful for us. And it goes to show you how important it is to have stability in a school building. When we came in, we were at, over that summer, under 700 students enrolled. We were struggling significantly, and we're about maybe 670, 680 students. And I panicked that summer because we've never seen enrollment that low in this building. So we've been able to really make some significant changes. I hope that you're following us on Facebook, and if you haven't, please do, or in different social media posts that we do. There is a whole lot that has been done with the whole team here to really support the changing of the school and then the rebranding of the school, and it has really been a group effort. So what I can tell you now is that for next year, our enrollment is at over 1,100 people, 1,100 students, coming from 650 students. So again, that goes to all the work that really has been done by a whole lot of people here to really make that happen. We were pushing, and Tony knows about this, for a long time. We were pushing for a clinic. We wanted to pair up or partner up with 16th Street Clinic. We pushed and we pushed. I remember having those conversations with the clinic, and sometimes they were not so friendly. And we were able to make it happen, and with a whole lot of people's support. So we have a $1.7 million clinic that has just been open for both the public and for the community and for our students, which again could not have happened without the support of so many people here. So I want to thank everyone for that. I also want to thank Dr. Brugman, because without her really stepping in, that clinic would not have been open, and there's a whole lot of different reasons for that. So again, thank you. We really appreciate all the support. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to grow South Division. I encounter alumni from South all the time. They're very vocal with me, which I appreciate. And they come to me, and also former staff members come to me and tell me, that they appreciate the great things that are happening, and they want it to continue. So again, we're going to continue to work to bring South Division even better than it ever was, and we're already taking a whole lot of steps to make that happen. A lot of our data is already moving, and not just in climate, but also in academics. So again, just very thankful for everyone for that. So having said all that, I am going to turn it over to Alondra Garcia, who's going to give us some remarks, and we will go from there. If we can give a hand to Alondra, please.
Thank you, Jose. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Alondra Garcia. I'm the proud daughter of immigrant workers, a former DACA recipient, and a current U visa holder. Being the president of WIAVE this past year has truly been an honor, a blessing. And today, WIAVE is honored to celebrate the legacy and the life of Maestro Luis López, who was the first bilingual teacher here at South Division High School in the Milwaukee Public Schools District. Maestro Luis López was born in León, Guanajuato, Mexico on August 17, 1944. He later moved to Milwaukee, where he completed his high school education and learned English as a second language at MATC. It was at MATC that he also completed his first 2 years of college before transferring to the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, where he earned both his bachelor's and master's degree. Maestro López went on to have a long and distinguished career with MPS. In 1970, he became the first bilingual teacher at South Division High School, teaching Hispanic American culture, bilingual U.S. history, and language courses. His work was transformative. He not only provided access to rigorous academic content in both Spanish and English, but also empowered generations of students to see themselves reflected in their education. His efforts directly contributed to increased graduation rates and expanded post-secondary opportunities for Latino and non-Latino students alike. His deep commitment to education, shaped in part by his experience at MATC, led him to return there as a part-time faculty member in the adult high school and ESL programs, where he was devoted to transforming the lives of adult learners. His impact extended throughout the community as he served on boards and organizations such as Mexican Fiesta, the United Community Center, and UMOS. Beyond the classroom, Maestro López was a relentless advocate for student belonging and cultural pride. He helped organize the first Hispanic prom at South Division in 1972, creating inclusive spaces where students felt seen and celebrated. As a guidance counselor, he further supported students' academic and personal growth, always centering their dignity and potential. He will be remembered not only as a devoted husband, father, grandfather, brother, and friend, but also as an exceptional educator who dedicated his life to serving Milwaukee's Latino community. He was a trailblazer, mentor, and champion for equity. His legacy lives on through the countless lives he transformed, the doors he opened, and the community he strengthened. This celebration is for him and his unwavering advocacy, pioneering leadership, and lifelong dedication to bilingual education and community empowerment. Maestro Luis Rodolfo López, alongside pioneers for bilingual education like Tony Baez, Ms. Gonzalez, the mother of Gloria Gonzalez, Linda Lopez, Olga Eckert, and many more. It is important for all of us to honor the people who paved the way for us to continue serving our bilingual, multilingual students in the best way we know we can, and to continue to advocate for them, their families, and our communities at the local, state, and federal level. We need to protect funding that supports multilingual learners. We need to increase reimbursement rates so districts can sustain high-quality bilingual programs, and we need to reject policies that exclude rather than include. Most importantly, we must stop cutting programs that we know work. Every student deserves access to a high-quality education that recognizes their strengths, supports their growth, and prepares them for the future. Because multilingualism is not a barrier, it is an asset. And investing in students' languages is investing in their success. For these reasons, we are celebrating educators like Maestro Luis López, who has and continues to make an impact in our students' lives, our families, and community to this day. Thank you.
Take you back to
Get closer to the mic.
I'm going to take you back to the old South Division. I'm going to take you back to the late 60s. The South Division that was on the field, on the football field, the soccer field. When segregation was happening and the bilingual program was beginning in the beginning stages. The superintendent at the time was McMurrin, and he had assigned a liaison to work with the community. That person was Tony Gradisnik. His successful work with the community led to the President of the United States, Lyndon B. Johnson, sending a liaison from Washington, D.C. His name was Elias Gonzalez. And he came to help empower our community to be strong leaders. From this came the creation of the Bilingual Bicultural Advisory Committee, which my mother, Enriqueta Gonzalez, became the first president. She was on the committee that interviewed Luis Lopez. Maestro Lopez became the first bilingual bicultural program teacher at South Division High School in 1969. He was this young Hispanic man that walked the halls of South Division, confident, always spoke to us with a smile, saying good morning, good afternoon. We soon found out he was our new history teacher. He didn't teach from his desk or the blackboard, nor did he talk to us, but sat with us. He made us feel comfortable. We respected him, and he respected us. Mr. Lopez was always available after school for any questions we had about schoolwork or situations outside of school. He was a trailblazer. He broke barriers, creating a buddy system to help each other with assignments. Going to Mr. Lopez's room after school soon became a tutoring haven. Mr. Lopez would go above and beyond his duties as a teacher. He invited us to his house to work on class projects. He would call them parties, but we were there to work. He counseled us on finishing high school and continuing our education. At the time, we were considered to have a disability because we spoke two languages. The counselors were only preparing us with courses for trade jobs instead of courses to enter college. Then came the UWM takeover, the marches, and the beginning of the Spanish-speaking Outreach Institute, which was located on 5th and National. On 5th and National, on the second floor, across from the Guardian newspaper. And that soon became the Robert Hernandez Center at UWM. Mr. Lopez was instrumental in getting us enrolled in this early entrance program at UW. But we had to attend at night. We could not attend during the day, and only at the location on 5th and National. We could not attend UW. Mr. Lopez had to make quite a few house calls to convince parents. The second year, we were allowed to take night classes on the UW campus. My last year in high school, Mr. Lopez had become a counselor. I felt I had gotten to know him, and he was very social and charismatic. So we asked him if we could have our own prom, one with our kind of music. He wanted to know what we were thinking. To his surprise, we were not thinking anything small. Oh no, we wanted a Mark Plaza downtown on 5th and Wisconsin, which is now called the Hilton. The top three bands at the time were Nacho Zaragoza and his orquesta, La Controversia, which was the Puerto Rican band, and Little Tina and sus Cardenales. He calmly asked, how did we plan to pay for this? I explained we planned on inviting the public and charging at the door a small donation and anything extra they wanted to give. That, the bands were willing to charge a small fee. And then he asked, what about the hotel? Well, Mr. Lopez, I need you to go with me to talk to the manager. He said I needed an adult. The manager told Mr. Lopez we could have the hall for free if we sold $1,000 in alcohol that night. Otherwise, we would have to pay for the hall. The manager left the room for us to discuss the contract. And Mr. Lopez looked at me and said, ¿En qué, Gloria, en qué me has metido? Gloria, what have you gotten me into? And of course my answer was, Mr. Lopez, don't worry, we got this. At 11 p.m., the manager called Mr. Lopez and me to the bar and informed us that we had exceeded our $1,000 mark. Our prom was a success, and it ended at 3 a.m. and everyone was paid. Mr. Lopez impacted our life as a student in the bilingual program, as an adult using the life skills he taught. When I applied for the position at Central Office in the bilingual division, the position I retired from, Mr. Lopez was on the interviewing committee. I want to thank Mr. Trejo for helping me arrange this wish that I wanted to do for Mr. Lopez. And I also want to thank Riade for their sponsorship, for coming through. This was just something that I wanted to do for my teacher. I want to thank Nelson Goodson for my co-alumni here for helping me with this. I did this from my bottom of my heart. I want to thank you. So at this time, I want to introduce the family to those of you who do not know them. Luis's wife, widow, Linda Rodriguez Lopez. Maria, I hope I don't tear up these names. Tanya Skorstead. Her husband, David Skorstead. Emily. Angelina Davino. Luis's daughter. Tom Davino. Juana. Here's the niece. For the granddaughter. Luca. The granddaughter. Michelle Schmidt. Derry. Jacob. And Megan. Thank you so much for being here.
A couple of citations. I know Jose Perez couldn't make it. There is a city citation, and then there is also a legislative citation that happened, or that was passed by the legislature in recognition of Maestro Luis López. So I want to have Mimi Reza come up here. And we'll call up the family. I don't know who from the family is going to come up to receive the citation. Thank you, thank you.
Mucho gusto. My name is Director Mimi Reza. I'm one of the MPS board members for District 6 for Milwaukee Public Schools. On behalf of Representative Sylvia Ortiz-Velez, she's the 8th representative for State Assembly for District 8. Senator Tim Carpenter, 3rd State Senate Director. They would be here, but I got the honor to be here to present this for la señora López. On behalf of the state of Wisconsin, the citation by the legislator, this is an honor for Mr. Luis López for his dedication that he's put for his community, for the public schools, for all Latinos. So it's truly an honor to present this. I had the honor of meeting him. It was a couple of years ago. I ran into him with my mom at El Rey, of all places. I remember a little bit because I know that my mom recognized him. My mom is Yasema Garcia, and she's also been part of everything when we came through the Roberto Hernandez Center, and she also was here teaching at South Division one time. And he was just a pleasant person to know. He was amazing, and it was truly an honor to really get to know him that one time. Especially when he was trying to order some carne. Give him a ticket. That's una carne asada. Pero,
We have a few people that were going to be coming up to speak.
Many students, when the bilingual program first started, I had signed up for a Spanish class, and they asked a group of us if we want to start going to the bilingual program, which I did, and also my 2 sisters. When I first met Mr. Lopez, I thought he was the most handsomest man there was, and I said, oh my God, my sisters, we all were like, did you see Mr. Oh my God, and we're all over here, and then we're all making little Google eyes to Mr. Lopez, and all you could just see was those, you girls, you girls, you girls. Then he said he just figured to Davila girls, and that's all he knew was by Davila girls, not by her name. I viene la Davila girl, I viene la Davila girl. But that was Mr. Lopez. He was such a passionate, humble man. If it wasn't for Mr. Lopez, I come from a family of 9. My mom worked, my dad worked, and they would take care. I was the second oldest in my family. So going to college was out of my league because I said I couldn't do it. But if it wasn't for Mr. Lopez, he pushed us. He pushed us girls, because he said, ustedes son Latinas. You're Latin girls. You got to go to school and prove you can make something of yourselves. So he pushed us. Then we got a counselor, Mr. Rodriguez, and he helped us get in to go to college. And if it wasn't for him, I went to UW Oshkosh. My sisters went to UW Superior. I didn't finish college. That was my fault. And I regret it. My sisters, they did. But I just see Mr. Lopez as like a big brother. I had an older brother, but he was stern and strict like my dad. But Mr. Lopez was like everything. He could come and talk to my mom and dad, and we would get away with stuff. But I just can hear him joke around and that, and then he goes and sees Mr. Lopez, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to hear it. And then, but he was like a big brother. And thank you, Ms. Lopez, and all of his family for sharing him with us. Because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. So thank you very much. I love you.
Hello, my name is Carmen Rivas. I went to South Division class of 82. I have my sister Ida, who was a class of 72. And something that we were talking about when we were talking about Mr. Lopez and how he's been around for all the generations, and again, thank you to the family because he was like a big brother. I actually didn't have him for any classes, but I would always see him in the hallway. And I played sports, so he always would come see us in the gym, play sports. At that time during the 80s, the after-school recreation programs were starting. South Division back in the 80s, all the schools had some kind of specialty. South was known for their hospitality and the food services program, as well as recreation. Knowing that you can go into a major of recreation, that's what I ended up going into. So as I would see him here as a student, he would always encourage, again, the girls, Latinas, you guys got to do it, do it. And then we started soccer. That was the first, my senior year, soccer was just starting with all the high schools. And so bringing the English kids and the bilingual kids together, he was instrumental in that also because we started soccer, and look how soccer is, now we're in 2026. But to be one of those first kids, of learning soccer, I didn't really play it, but I kind of knew it. I figured, I was kicking the ball, playing kick the can and all those other games, when you're a kid and that kind of stuff. But for him, again, then I came back as an employee with MPS, working with the recreation department, and thankfully I would see him again, and again he would encourage, and he was just saying, and it just stuck to me, and I remember this, how he said he was just so proud that you could come back, go get your education, and you can come back to the school and work at the school that you went to high school with. So I just want to thank him and thank the family. You guys got a beautiful angel up there, and we all have an angel on our shoulders too. So thank you all for everybody who put this together so that we could, show our gratitude. I know a lot of people aren't here, but especially in our hearts, we all know that we do love them a lot. So, and I see a lot of the first people that were fighting for the education here. So thank you all again. I see Ms. Rodriguez and just people. My mother was Mercedes Rivas, so she was one of those people out there marching too to get the programs out there. So I'm just thankful and grateful for everybody here. So thank you again, and thank you, Mr. Lopez. Much love.
Luis was a teacher. He started before me. I started in the bilingual program in 1971, and he was here already. I guess I thought my voice was enough. But, I started in 1971, and Luis was a teacher here at South prior to me. But he was teaching the same thing, U.S. history, Hispano-American culture, etc., etc. So we didn't have materials, we didn't have anything. But we were able to make it, and I remember Linda was at central office, and it was a very moving thing. But one of the things that I don't want to give you a big speech, because I could be talking for hours. But I think Luis it was an unconditional friend. Luis walked with me during my good times and during my bad times. And I think I was with him during my good times and my bad times. He was a very, very kind person, extremely kind. And Rosa Rodriguez, I remember, very kind. So to me, and I say it from the bottom of my heart, I feel that I lost the brother that I never had. And also a few months later, another person that I consider almost like that died. So it has been a very hard thing, but today we are celebrating his life. And he was a very different kind of an individual. He never raised his voice, at least with me he never did. I don't know with you girls, but with me he never did. I did raise my voice a lot, but he did. So he was a good, kind individual and a good educator, a good, extremely good friend. And thank you.